What if there was an opportune moment for you to open up your imagination and be very, very clear with what you're deciding to imagine and to create? This becomes very apparent because we have Mercury in Scorpio trine Neptune in Pisces, which creates a sense of spiritual imagination and a desire for spiritual communication. Let's talk about this aspect and all the other aspects going on October 30th and 31st. Let's start talking about the astrology of October 30th. So, what we have going on, first of all, is in this video, I'm going to be talking about the astrology, and then I pulled oracle cards for each and every day that I discuss from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Um, So let's first talk about the moon conjunct Lilith, first of all. So what this means is when the moon is conjunct Lilith, which is this primal, wild and feminine energy that represents your dark side and embracing that your shadowy aspects of yourself, um, and going deep into yourself to find the pearls that reside within you. So when the moon, which is your emotions, sensitivity, how you nurture, is conjunct Lilith, we may run the gamut of intense emotions. Intense emotions may be very on the high now. We're feeling a lot of intense emotions. We are really having them being very pronounced feelings at this time. The positive side of this is that we have a newfound confidence when it comes to getting through our emotions, moving through our emotions, and going through life. We have a confidence in our abilities and in our desire to do what we need to. Any unaddressed grief may come to the surface, may bubble up to the surface for us to look at that grief, feel that grief, and heal it ultimately. And any intense emotions may bubble up to the surface at this time. You may crave emotional support now. You may want to be supported, to be helped, to be guided in a particular kind of way, but at the same time, you may be rebelling against those overprotective people that want to protect you, hold you in, cage you in, put you in a certain statue of boxing, and find that you are doing a certain thing in a certain way, and that is how you go about your life. But this is a time where you may feel the need to rebel against people that want to overtly nurture you or smother you. You may feel the need for emotional freedom now. This is a time to embrace transformation and change, to transform your life in any way, the small ways and the big ways, and also to be willing to change when you need to change. Intuition and creative powers are up the gamut now. So, you're feeling very intuitive, you're feeling very creative. So, another thing with this is about receptivity, being receptive to certain energies coming at us and certain people wanting to help and support us. Whatever being receptive looks like it makes sense for you in your own life, it comes to really sitting down on the knee-break chair and really being present with what happens and what comes at you and being open to that new energy that comes at you, being open to all of the wonderful things that can come about in your life, all the blessings that can come about, all the gifts that can come about. Are you receptive to all the good things and all the abundance that can come at you in life or not? This is a time where you may be experiencing intense emotions, and there may be people that may be giving valuable insights to you. So now's the time to recognize those insights and, just like before, being receptive to the insights. The next aspect that we're going to talk about is we have the moon in Libra at 20 degrees, opposing Chiron at 20 degrees of Aries. I believe that Chiron is at 20 degrees of Aries at this time. So, when the moon is opposite Chiron, we may be holding in our feelings, repressing them, keeping them inside ourselves is not advised now. Because when we hold in our feelings, when we stew in those feelings, we may express them in very erratic, impulsive ways at certain random times that are the wrong time to express your emotions and unnecessary times. It's important to let those feelings off your chest when you feel them so that they don't sit within you and you're not stewing on them and then they just explode out of you at the wrong time and at the wrong place. So it's important to openly express your feelings as much as you can. This is a time also to face your fears, to really have fears that you have that you want to face, that you want to conquer, that you want to go up against, that you want to put an angelic point against those fears. And when it comes to facing them, you gain greater strength, you gain greater courage when you actually face your fears and go with the fears. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Being brave is actually having the fear, but then pushing against that fear and going through that doorway into that room that you don't want to go into, even though you have to. So, what is the fear that represents bugs on the door, but you have to open the door to save the people that you care about? What is that fear that you have to get past in order for you to move to the form that you want to move into? Emotions can be catalysts at this particular time as well. Now, addressing your emotional wounds is a very, very big issue now. Addressing what are the wounds that you're carrying from your past, from your present. Maybe it's fear or anxiety. What are the emotional wounds? Maybe ancestral wounds, maybe brought upon by your family projections or certain emotional experiences that you've had in the past that were very traumatic, that were very fear-mongering. What are your emotional wounds that you're holding on to now that have to get healed and released? What wounds are you not integrating and are you not choosing to heal at this time? Now is the time to heal those wounds. Now is the time also to express and process your emotions. Whatever emotions needing to be let out of your system and needing to be processed, now is the time to do that. Know that healing is not linear. You will take steps forward and you will bounce back ultimately. That's part of the process. Taking a couple steps forward, taking a couple steps back, because you need things to help you to feel secure, help you to feel safe, and help you to feel better. And so you will go back to those patterns and those ways of being and those things in order for you to not feel overwhelmed, in order for you to feel secure within yourself. And so you will go back to those emotionally addictive habit patterns of bouncing back, and you will move forward when it comes to the path that you need to take for your evolution, for your soul growth. Balancing these two things, balancing these nodal things between your comfort zone and between your destiny is equally important to balance these two things out. Another aspect going on today is that we have Mercury forming an exact opposition to Uranus and Taurus. So Mercury is in Scorpio, Uranus is in Taurus. Um, Getting towards the later degrees of their signs. So your brain might be rushed up or racked up. You may find that life is speeding up. You may find that you have bursts of stimulation that's coming at you from here, from over there, from, all over. And the stimulation is coming at you in really, really powerful ways. And so there is this need to adhere to the stimulation and to not resist the stimulation, but acknowledge the stimulation. Um, and so there may be new and exciting events that may be underway for you at this time. It's a good time to meet stimulating people. Meet people that can really, juck your brain up and add new fuel to the fire and make you think about new things and new angles of looking at things that you never thought about before, and making you consider new ways of being that you never considered before, new ideas, new beliefs that you've never considered before. So having intellectual conversations that are from the higher mind is really what this is all about. Um, so these conversations that you may feel may be from a higher place, maybe from a higher perspective. But it's important to have these emotional conversations, these intellectual conversations at this time. It's a good time to get your car serviced before traveling so they get that on the way. And so you may find that your thinking is more innovative, more original, more out of the box. And so it's very, very important now because there's this impulsive energy here. There's this need to act on impulse. It's very important to think before you act, think before you speak. It's very, very clear here. As you might say something that or do something that you may later regret if it's out of impulse. So really, really think before you just do something super impulsive or compulsive. Um, Such as, deleting YouTube videos or deleting channels. I can certainly relate to compulsively deleting things because, uh, it's sort of a thing that you do in order for you to feel secure within yourself in order to do what you need to do at the particular time because of feeling overwhelmed. But it's very, very important now to consider, well, I might consider keeping these videos because I may want to look back at them. So, sort of learning through our mistakes of that we've done something compulsive in the past, now we might rethink how we do it in the present moment. Taking these little lessons that we learned and doing something different the next time. And so this is about being willing to take risks at the target as well. This is about getting out of your routines or breaking free from your routines. This is what this comes down to. You may want to break free from your routines that are limiting you. Get out of those routines. This becomes very important because any routine in a solid structure or organization that is boxing, that is limiting, that is inhibiting, you want to break out of that now. That's how you're feeling. That this is how you might be feeling now. So it's very important also to not act on impulse as well, so that you're not just doing something impulsively, speaking impulsively, that kind of thing. Another aspect we have going on is that we have the moon sextiling Venus. So the moon is in the sign of Libra, Venus is in Sagittarius now. So this represents any kind of relaxation, entertainment, or amusement activity, going to amusement park, going to a fun fair park, going to a museum, going to a movie. All these things might be very good things that you might consider doing at this time to wind down and to enjoy life, if you can. You know, make time for leisure activities, even if it's the smallest thing that you can do for yourself, things that you genuinely enjoy doing. Maybe it's painting pictures with your children. Maybe it is going for a walk with someone that you care about. Any activity where you can wind down and enjoy life. It's important to fit that in and balance that in with your schedule, no matter how busy that you might be. It's important that we have that downtime and that opportunity for ourselves to enjoy life in that regard. So, new relationships can thrive at this time. And so it's important to balance your need to be social, need to be extroverted, out there communicating with people, interacting with people, balancing this out with your need for self-care and self-love and what you do for your self-care. Whatever that is, it's important to balance being extroverted and being introverted at the same time. Relationships with women can be very healthy and be very beneficial now as well. It's also important to recognize the beauty all around you. See the beauty all around you as as things that are gorgeous and that are vibrant around you. So recognizing that, seeing the beautiful flowers, we're in fall time, seeing the beautiful leaves that fall off the trees, recognizing the beautiful sunlight coming through the window. Whatever you can to recognize what is gorgeous around you is very, very important and called for now. Another aspect going on is that we have the moon in a trine with Jupiter now. So when the moon is trine Jupiter, the moon in Libra trine Jupiter in Gemini, we may be sharing happiness with loved ones, sharing our good feelings, sharing our optimism, sharing our pride, sharing our benevolence of what the energy that we're feeling with others. We may want to share that and express that out. Um, this is good for recreation or leisure activities as well, similar to the last aspect that I discussed. This is important that we are honest and open about our emotions. It's really, really important that we do that. In any spiritual practices that raise you up and make you feel hopeful, optimistic, happy, at peace, and joy, whatever the emotions are that's high vibration, these spiritual practices are positive to do for yourself at this time. So give yourself that hug, give yourself that opportunity to do that spiritual practice, whatever it may be for you. You may receive a lot of emotional healing and support from family and friends, so it's important to be um, open to those things. And so this proves as something very, very important at this time. So this is also a great time to enlist the help of influential and famous people now. This is very positive to consider doing now. And so, um, what boat that can help your career? What can help your career? Putting more attention to your career might be very important now. Who could benefit from your upliftment and support now? That's a very, very big question to ask. Who could benefit from your help, what you have to give? And so you need to ensure that your acts of kindness do not lead to burnout on an emotional level because you may overgive, feeling very, very generous, wanting to help this person over here, wanting to help this escapade in Eskimo, wanting to help this sort of cause over here or this project over there. But where are you giving to where you feel burnt out, to where you don't have enough for yourself, or you're giving from an empty well where it's not replenished. Allow that well to be replenished. Allow your energy to be replenished. Do the things where your energy can be replenished as well. So taking care of yourself is also important here. And any kind of social work is good at this time. Now, the card that I pulled for this particular day is the card. When I asked the question, I shuffled the cards. What does the collective need to know for October 30th? And I got the Hawk Prince. Hopefully you can see that. The Hawk Prince, spirit communication, paying attention. So this is really about being very attuned, being very hyper aware, being very um unvigilant to to what spirit is communicating to you, to what your intuition is communicating. So being open to your intuition, trust your intuition, follow the cues and signs that your intuition gives you, and that the signs that you interact with in your day-to-day life. An important message may come your way this time, be it from a phone call, be it from a friend or whoever. Be open to the messages and signs and symbols at this time. Are you listening to the dialogue of spirit? That's a very, very important question to ask. Relax, be in flow. Um, be open to what your intuition has to say, what spirit has to, how spirit speaks to you now by the people and what they communicate to you as suggestions by certain things that you see in your life that you get the idea of, oh, I want to read this book because I see this book that I really want to read, or something along those lines that gives you the idea to do certain things that it feels right for you in your intuition. So it's important to let spirit speak to you at this time. Now, on Halloween Day, October 31st, we have a beautiful aspect of Mercury in Scorpio trine Neptune and Pisces. This is beautiful for anything creative, anything artistic. This represents our creativity is getting enhanced, our imagination is getting enhanced, our sense of spirituality is getting raised up at this time. So anything creative, imaginative, or spiritual is great for this particular aspect. This is good for working on a novel that you're writing, working on a painting that you're painting. Anything in the artistic department can thrive now. Um, And so your intuition may be very, very strong at this time, being very clear and acute. You're more able to pick up on subtle energies that you may be feeling. Whatever those energies may be this time that you may pick up on, um, you may feel these things very, very strongly, within you that you're able to pick up on these types of things. It's important to communicate in a caring and compassionate way. That's another gift that this can give us because Neptune adds this knowing of that we're all one, that we're all in this together. So be compassionate towards our fellow neighbor. Love thy neighbor, as the saying goes. So communicating with care, with love, with heart-centered love, with compassion, with an empathic understanding of what the person's going through, what they're experiencing, because you never truly know what someone's going through. Getting involved with subjects that are more subjective than objective is very important. So not the time to dot your I's, cross your T's, attending the little technical details of things. You're feeling more ethereal, you're feeling more artistic, more right-brained, more out there, more in jettas sort of thing where you're attending to the subjects that are definitely more subjective. Um, and so more meaningful, more soul-centered communication that can also be grounded at the same time. So it's important that your communication is from your heart, from your soul, true to you, and that it's also coming from a grounded, centered place as well. This is an important time to attend to your dreams, creating them a reality, and also attending to your obligations at the same time, balancing these two things out. Setting the structure for whatever you need to get done in your life is very, very important now. Another aspect we have going on is that we have the moon coming into a square with Mars. So the moon is in Libra, Mars is in Cancer at around the end degrees of their signs. So this represents a time where you feel the very, very strong need to meet your passionate desires head on. But the downside of this is that it can cause irritation, annoyance, and you're feeling like your temper is very short fused. You're feeling very irritable, very easily annoyed by things, frustrated by things, bothered by things. You don't want to be pestered. You don't want to be bothered. Um, and these annoyances and these angers can simmer like seeds and sparks within yourself that can create your emotional outbursts. So it's important to express your feelings in a controlled way. Find healthy ways of expressing your feelings, walking them off, writing them down, speaking to them, working out, probably running to, um, let, burn off some steam and fuel. So it's important also to know the difference between being assertive and aggressive, that we're not acting aggressive, that we're being assertive, that we're asserting ourselves um, while still attuning to others' emotional things going on. It's important not to um, be emotionally manipulated by others or don't emotionally manipulate others in order for you to get what you desire, what you want. It's important to recognize where you're doing that. Temper tantrums and accidents are signs that you're not dealing with your emotional troubles in solid, good, pragmatic kind of ways. So if you're feeling that accident prone, more like you're going to explode at any moment, like you're going to react to something, those are signs that you're dealing with your emotions in good ways. Um, and so this can create frustration and tension, and these types of things can sort of come about right now at this time. So be mindful of that. The final aspect going on today is that we have the moon in Libra at 29 degrees, squaring Pluto in Capricorn at the anaretic degree of Capricorn. So we may get involved, or getting our feelings out of our subconscious can be very, very healing, especially if they are deep, intense, deep state emotions. When we release them from our life, we find true healing. Um, Challenges in your home life can help you evolve. What are the challenges? Violence, arguments, vendettas, um, anger arguments, trash arguments, whatever the argument, whatever the dispute is, these issues in the home environment can make you stronger, can make you more resilient, can help you change and grow in positive ways. You need to put conscious awareness to the darker areas of life, to the darker arenas of life. So being more consciously aware of those darker areas of life is very, very huge to do at this time. It's important to find healthy ways to express and process your emotions, um, as well. So whatever those ways that you do that, now's the time to do that. Um, it's important to have self-love and compassion for yourself. It's important to assert yourself and also understand the emotional needs of those around you. So it's important that you acknowledge your emotions, that you feel your emotions, and that you have compassion for what you're feeling at the current time, and you allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling at the current time with compassion, with acceptance. Um, it's important now that you do the things that ground and calm you. Cooking, gardening, meditating, journaling, whatever it is. Whatever calms and grounds your energy, now's the time to do that. The card that I pulled for this particular day is the Camel card. And the card says small steps asking for help. I hope that you can see that. So the question to ask yourself now is, are you willing and humble to ask for support? Are you humble to admit that you don't have the answers, that you don't know, that you're confused, that you need assistance? And are you willing to ask for that help? This is about asking for help. And when you do this, it will bring in the right people to ease the burdens off of your life. It will support you, will aid you. It will be of healthy assistance to you for your highest good if you ask for help. You will find that you will gain pearls of wisdom and knowledge when you ask for help and when you receive the answers and when you apply that help to your life. So it's important to be willing to ask for help, ask the people in your world, ask your oracle cards for help, and be willing to receive that. It's super important now at this time. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This video, if you're watching it at the premiere, I've decided to start premiering these videos so that if anyone communicates in the chat, that I can communicate with you, and so that it makes the video more important, more official, more exciting, as something to look forward to. So I will um, do more of these premiere videos, and I'll try doing more of these types of videos in this format. So I hope that you like it. I hope that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that you don't miss future uploads from me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.